Welcome to the Holistic High Achievers. I'm your host, Caitlin Rowitz. This podcast is all about thriving in the modern world without sacrificing your health. It's for all of my fellow high achievers, business owners, mompreneurs, single parents, hustlers, and for the people who do so much for everyone else, sometimes at a detriment to their own health. The people who want to do it all, but need to find a better way without burning themselves out and to continuing to put their own health on the back burner. Yes, we'll talk about health, nutrition, and movement and easy solutions to living healthier, but we'll also cover topics like goal setting, building habits, and overcoming challenges and limiting beliefs, which can be applied to any area, including health, so that you can thrive holistically. Hello, party people! In today's episode, we're gonna highlight the true power of small steps. Most clients that I work with set a goal, and then they think they have to make all these drastic changes all at once in order to accomplish that goal. If their goal is to lose weight, they think they have to start waking up at 4:30 a.m. to work out 6 days a week and cut all carbs and only eat salads and never drink coffee or alcohol or even think about touching sugar. None of which they're currently not doing any of those changes. And of course, I'm giving an extreme example there, but I so often hear things like, I can't lose weight because I don't want to cut out sugar, or I don't want to work out at 5 a.m., or I don't want to stop drinking alcohol, or I can't work on my side hustle because I don't have enough time, or I can't take that class because I don't have the skills, or I can't buy the new car because I don't have all the money. We tend to overcomplicate what we think what it's going to take to accomplish our big goals, or only focus on the end result, the big thing that would happen at the end, and that seems overwhelming, so we do nothing instead. And there's always solutions. We just don't always see them at first. And when you really think about it, you don't just lose 50 pounds, you lose weight 1 pound at a time, one healthy meal at a time, one workout at a time, one night of getting better sleep at a time, and then all of a sudden, you've lost 50 pounds and you have a ton more energy and you feel amazing. And it wasn't nearly as hard as you thought it was going to be. Another analogy, accomplishing a sales goal in your side hustle happens one conversation at a time, one social media post at a time, one 30-minute carved out chunk of time for you to do whatever you need to do to put into your business. And all of a sudden you have tons of content. And you made your first $1,000 in sales, and $1,000 might have seemed so big a long time ago, but all of a sudden you just did it because you were focusing on the smaller steps. You stopped trying to do everything at once and allowed it time to build, allowed it time to sow the seeds and let it come to fruition and build that momentum. And when we do it this way, don't get me wrong, starting is always the hardest part because it's new, it's challenging, there's a lot of moving parts. And once you have your plan and you get into a groove, it starts to just feel easier and way more doable. I like to give the analogy of like building a snowman. It's been years since I built a snowman, but then I had a kid and we started he was only 1 last winter, so he couldn't do it himself, but we were helping him build a snowman. And when you first start packing on the snow, it's like, this is never going to get big enough, but you're rolling it. And as you keep like rolling it down the hill to build more snow, it starts getting bigger and bigger. But the bigger it gets, the quicker it gets bigger. And that's kind of like your goals. It starts out slow, not a lot is happening. You're like, why can't this go faster? But then all of a sudden, all the things you're doing start to compound and it starts building and working faster. And I like to call that momentum. You can refer to it any way you want. But on the flip side, when you try to do it all at once, here's what happens. People listen to something motivational. They see something on TikTok, whatever, you set a New Year's resolution or whatever it is, and you go all gung-ho and dive in head first and overcommit, and you burn yourself out by like week 1. We've all done that. I've done that. So if you say you haven't done something like that, you're probably lying. But the reality is it's too much. It's too much change at once. And humans, we are all creatures of habit. Our brains don't like change. So most of the time, unless you're being forced to make a change medically or something, it's not going to be sustainable long term. I fell into this trap for a very long time, like I said. Most of my clients, most people I know are all doing this, overcommitting, trying to dive in, only thinking of the end result, and not everybody's aware of it. People actually admit to it sometimes, though. They tell me, like, I just have such, like, black and white thinking. Or another one I like is, like, I'm kind of a perfectionist. And I can almost guarantee that as you're listening to this right now, you're nodding your head at some of these examples like, yeah, that's me. So the solution is to just give more credit to the power in the smaller steps so that you can allow it the time to build that momentum, have your plan, and come back stronger doing it the right way. And having a focus when we're trying to do too many things all at once, like the example I gave before, if your goal is lose weight, developing a plan, yeah, there's going to be lots of sub-steps. You're probably going to start eating healthier. You're probably going to start working out. You're probably going to start trying to sleep better and getting in some self-care and cooking and trying new recipes. But you're not going to start all of that day one. And when you choose a focus, you have your plan and you choose a focus on where to start and allow yourself to be okay with starting with those smaller steps. The crazy part is it's not only going to eliminate a lot of the overwhelm and make it easier to start because you know where you're going. I'm going to make up a number here, but it's going to be 1,000 times more sustainable. Because when something feels easy, you are way more likely to stick to it. Way more likely. That's the truth. And then you can always build on those steps later. And you will. But you have to believe that there's power in those small steps and trust it. Another analogy I want to throw in, because I read this somewhere and I can't remember where it was, but if you change the degree of an airplane's direction by just 1 degree, for every 60 miles flown, it can take the plane off course by an entire mile. Don't quiz me about how many feet are in a mile, but it's a lot. So in some longer flights, I Googled this, but it could literally make the difference of ending up in Munich, Germany, or Kitzbühel, Austria, which I'm sure I'm mispronouncing. The point is, it's an entirely different country, just by changing 1 single degree. So yeah, although the 1 degree is small, there's so much power in that small degree. You don't have to make changes that feel like completely turning the plane around. You will see results with small changes that you commit to. So you can't work out 6 days a week? Great. Start with 1 or 2. You can't cook a healthy meal every night? Great. Just start with 1 or 2 days a week. You can't sit down and finish your book? Great. Write 1 page. You can't afford your car yet? Great. Start saving a few dollars a day. You can't hang out with your friends all the time now that you're a parent? Cool. Schedule a date once a month to start. You don't have time to clean out the entire garage? Pack 1 box a week to donate. You can break pretty much everything down into smaller steps that will still get you there. Narrow your focus on just 1 area at a time instead of trying to do 57 different things. That's too many things. And if you need help figuring out what's important or where to start, if you're honest with yourself, what feels right? What feels most important? Not what you think should be most important or what you should be doing. Don't should all over yourself. If you tap in and think about the things you're trying to accomplish for yourself right now, family-wise, business-wise, health-wise, and sit with each one for a second and tune into how they make you feel. What is it for you? Is it eating better? Sleeping better? Writing your book? Spending more time with your kids? Trust your gut. There's so much power in your gut. We're so taught to outsource our intuition and do what society tells us is like the norm and what we should be doing, but sit with yourself and do what feels the best to you, because I can guarantee you're probably right. If it genuinely feels important, it probably is. But the key is you can't lie to yourself. You have to be honest. When I shared my story about postpartum, I was so focused on losing weight again. I was so focused on that. But when I really sat with myself, the most important thing was giving my body time to recover, because that's just the phase I was in. But then after I did that, that's when I had the capacity to focus on my health and my weight and my fitness. And I got there, and it was way less stressful doing so. So if you're really honest with yourself, what is it for you? If you still feel like you need help, you're like, I don't even know where to, I do talk to, especially moms. I talk to a lot of moms who I go, well, what do you want? Like, what do you want for your health? What do you want for your life? And they go, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. So we're so focused on everybody else and giving everyone else's needs before ours. But that's what I love to help people with. So you can absolutely reach out to me. You know, I call it a take control strategy session where I meet with clients one-on-one. I also have a $19 course. It's a mini course called Getting Clarity and Building Momentum on my website. I'm sure we can link it in the show notes, but it's designed to help you get clear. Get clear on what's most important so that you can really break out of this rut that you're in that's causing you no success, giving you no results, and start moving effortlessly in the direction you want to go to help you build the momentum that you've been waiting for. Because if you feel stuck, this should be resonating with you. When you get clear on your goals and align your small steps, it's literally going to catapult you into the next level in your health, in your business. Yes, the course was initially designed with new moms in mind, but I guarantee anyone can take it. Even people who I have that have taken it, who don't have kids or aren't parents or whose kids are like grown and long out of the house, have found incredible value in this. It's like a starting place, where to get started so you can just be like, I know what I want, rather than having no clue. And it's only $19. So I don't know. It's a no-brainer. Go get it. Otherwise, you guys know where to find me on Instagram at Caitlin Rojo. But I hope this episode was helpful and already gives you some clarity on like what to do next. We don't have to focus on the next 100 steps. We have to focus on the next step. So go get them. Thank you so much for being here with me on the Holistic High Achiever. I hope today's episode left you feeling inspired and ready to take on the world one healthy step at a time. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, follow, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps so much. And if you're anything like me, you probably thought of someone else who would likely resonate with this, so don't forget to share it with them, because who can't use a little extra motivation? Until next time, keep embracing your journey and kicking ass.